Okay, so let's take a look at some restrictions. So there's only 2 restrictions up to grade 11. We can't divide by 0, which we saw in fractions, and we can't square root negatives, which we saw in square roots. So now, because we're using fractions, we're going to use the rule can't divide by 0. We know that, for example, 8 divided by 0 is undefined. We can't divide by 0. So the method is set denominator equal to 0 and solve. Don't make up other rules. Don't introduce new words into the sentence. Set the denominator equal to 0 and solve. So if I have 1 over x, x can't equal 0. Whatever the denominator is, that can't equal 0. 2 over x plus 3, x plus 3 can't equal 0. Minus 3 from both sides, x can't equal negative 3. Circle your answers. If I, for example, have x over 2, well, there's just no restrictions because there's no variable on the bottom. So this next one, if I have 3 over x squared plus 5x plus 6, my favorite, I'm going to go down. So that's 3 over, factor it. Two numbers that multiply to get 6, now to get 5 are 2 and 3, so x plus 2, x plus 3. Now both denominators can't equal 0. So x plus 2 can't equal 0, and x plus 3 can't equal 0. So if I subtract 2 from both sides, x can't equal negative 2. If I subtract 3 from both sides, x can't equal negative 3. So there's another example off to the right where we do decomposition and then set your factors equal to 0. Then we have a differences of squares where we factor it, set the denominator equal to 0 or can't equal. Solve. Factor and solve. Then a GCF of an x, greatest common factor, set your factors equal to 0 separately and solve. And let's write a couple lines. We showed we skipped a few. Let's do 1 over x squared plus 1. Well, again, set your denominator, can't equal to 0, and solve. These are all can't equals. Every equal sign you see on this page is a can't equal. I'm going to put it in red, top right, can't equal. So, minus 1 from both sides, x can't equal negative 1. Try and square root both sides, can't square root a negative. We were looking for any restrictions on the variable, and because the method that we were using did not work, what we were looking for does not exist. Let me repeat that. We were looking for restrictions on the variable. We used the method to try and look for those things. The method did not work. What we were looking for does not exist. There are no restrictions.